There were laws and statutes that the Most High wanted us to live in that land. That land is and was holy. Okay? So, of course, being foreigners, they got put in a holy land and don't know how to live in it. Read on down.
Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them.
So what took place was a plague hit that region. And all of a sudden people were popping up, being killed by lions, that it tells you that the Lord sent. Therefore the Lord sent lions among them, which slew some of them. So watch what takes place. Continue.
Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria.
And of course the king of Assyria, being the king of the realm, he had to get a report on what was taking place. And they would actually let him know that, wait a minute, you know, this land, we have hell put upon us in this land. Go ahead. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying,
the nations which thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria.
The nation that you took out of Babylon, that thou hast removed and placed in the cities of Samaria. Go ahead.
Know not the manner of the God of the land.
They don't understand how that land is supposed to be dwelt in. Go ahead.
Therefore he has sent lions among them.
To show you how back then people weren't as ignorant as they are now. They knew that it was something of a spiritual nature. And they knew that the God of the land was not pleased, and therefore he was sending lions to kill these foreigners. Go ahead.
And behold, they slay them.
They killed them. They slayed them.
Because they know not the manner of the God of the land.
Continue.
Then the king of Assyria.
So the king of Assyria decided in council, this is the measure that we would take. Go ahead.
And commanded, saying, carry thither.
Carry there. Thither means there. Carry there meaning take back there. Go ahead.
One of the priests whom you brought from thence.
In other words, one of the priests that you took away from there, we want you to take them back. There's proof. In other words, when he said carry thither one of the priests that you brought from thence, is talking about one of the priests from the tribe of Levi. So when everybody was removed, Levi was removed among them. So they said, you got to take the priest back there, and the priest was going to perform what duty? Go ahead.
And let them go and dwell there.
In other words, let the priest go back and live there. Go ahead.
And let him teach them the manner of the God of the land.
So it took some Levite priests to go back and teach those transplants, those people that were transplanted and put there. He had to teach the priests, because that's what the priests did for us. The priests were the ones who officiated the law. They were the ones who did make sure the daily sacrifice was being done. They were making sure all of the ceremonial rites that the Most High demanded of Israel were being performed. They were the ones who were also officiating justice. In other words, handling the disputes and all the matters of the time. So it says, a priest went back and let them go and dwell there, and let him teach them the manner, meaning the way of the God of the land. So you had Israelite Levite priests that had to go back and teach the imposter Samaritans or the foreigners the laws. Go ahead.
Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel.
Let's go to the left. Let's go back to the map. So you got the priest. This is where all the killings was taking place. In Samaria, in Sychar, in this area, all of Samaria. So you had a priest got taken back from Samaria and dwelt homeowning right here in Bethel. A priest had to dwell in Bethel, and he was responsible for teaching all the foreigners who dwelt in the general area of Samaria how to follow the laws, so that the lions would stop killing them, so that the Most High would stay the plague of lions killing the foreign inhabitants of his land. Okay? All right, read that again.
Verse 28. Then one of the priests whom they had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel, and taught them how they should fear the Lord.
And so now, let's pick it up from this. Now let me say this. He taught them, and they didn't, let me say, I'm going to prove it to you. We're going to read them down. They didn't continue to do the law perfectly, but the Most High let them stay there because this was part of Israel's punishment. Read down to verse 29.
Howbeit, every nation made gods of their own.
See? In other words, so what you had is that every nation, in all the different foreigners, they got taught the laws of the Israelites by the Israelite priests, by the Levites, but they also continued to do their own customs. Go ahead.
And put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made.
Yep.
Every nation in their cities where they dwelt.
Okay, so now let's go back to what do you call it? Back to St. John chapter 4, and we stopped off. What verse was that? 9 or 10? What verse was it?
Verse 12.
Read verse 12 again. Let me explain this. So you had a phenomenon in which, you know what, is very similar to what the so-called blacks and Hispanics, the Israelites are going through today. And I'm explaining like this. This woman was a descendant of foreigners who were taught Israelite ways, and over a period of 700 years, literally 7 centuries, began to think that that's who they were, while at the same time knowing that that's who they're not. Now you say, how can this be? Easy. Go out and ask black Americans their nationality. They know that they're the descendants of people that came on slave ships, but these are the people that still swear up and down to you that they're Americans. They know good and well that their forefathers were sold out of Africa. How could they have possibly been indigenous to Africa if the indigenous people sold you out? But to this very day, they'll do what? They refer to themselves as Americans. So many generation Americans. I'm a 3rd generation American. I'm a 5th, 7th generation American. And they know that maybe they don't know that where you are born does not determine your nationality. What determines your nationality is the seed of your forefathers, who you can genealogically be traced back to. Okay? So, this woman was under the same thing that today, let me say this, how could this have not been? You got this woman who's a descendant of a people that have been implanted in this land and taught a different thing 700 years in advance. Look how long it only took for black people to lose their identity. Less than 400 years, and you can't figure out who you are. So, that's what this woman was going through from her indoctrination. She literally was going through an identity crisis because she knew that Christ was a Jew and that the Jews were to be distinguished. But at the same time, she knew that she was a Samaritan, and then she's coming back claiming to be a descendant of Jacob, which are talking about the Israelites. Or in that era, that time, that time frame, they were referred to, generally speaking, as the Jews, because the only ones that were left were the people of Judea or Judah. And the term Jew was an abbreviated form for the tribe or Judah or the region Judah, which at that time, once again, consisted of Judah, Benjamin, and a portion of Levi. So we're going to go back and pick up where we left off and in St. John chapter 12, chapter 4 and verse 12. Go ahead.
Verse 12. Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Now she's going back into his madness. Are you greater than our father Jacob? Go ahead.
Which gave us the well and drank thereof himself.
Okay, he gave us this well. He used to drink there when he was alive. Go ahead.
And his children.
His children used to drink him when they were alive. Go ahead.
And his cattle.
And all of his cattle. Continue.
Jesus answered.
Now, but let me say this. But Christ is going to put her straight. Watch this. Continue.
Jesus answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinketh of this water shall thirst again. For whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give.
So he's telling her the difference between what the well had and what he was offering. He said, whoever drinks this water, you're going to be coming back frequently because you're going to get thirsty again. But if you take a drink of what I'm bringing, go ahead.
I shall never thirst. So let me read it from the tape.
Go ahead.
14 again. But whosoever drinketh of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst.
Go ahead.
But the water that I shall give him shall be in him a well of water, springing up into everlasting life.
Because he was talking about the knowledge of salvation that the Most High sent him to bring to Israel. He was saying, yeah, you'll be thirsty again, but when I give you some of this water, he said, you're not going to thirst again, but it's going to be a well of water springing up to everlasting life. He was talking about the knowledge of salvation and this expectation of being delivered, one day being fulfilled. Go ahead.
The woman said unto him, Sir, give me this water.
Now she's interested. She's giving, can I have some of that water? Go ahead.
That I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Jesus said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither.
She asked for the water. He didn't got her interested. And then when she asked for it, Christ changed the topic. Go get your husband. Now watch what takes place now. Go ahead.
The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Jesus said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband.
Listen to this, because she, up until that point, she had been lying. Christ asked her to go get her husband. She said, I don't got a husband. He said, well, finally, he said, that's what you got. That's one